Yes, now let's take a minute to verify the manifestation. So please remeasure the height of your finger or your hand, whichever you have measured, and click a picture of the object after of your hand. Click a picture of your hand or your finger after the manifestation of Mahima. And you can compare the previous one with the current one. And any changes indicates a successful manifestation. So you can take a few moments to remeasure. And you can also take a few moments to upload your power manifestation videos and pictures and your experience of the power manifestation on social media with the hashtags of hashtag Nithyananda, hashtag Bhava Samadhi, and hashtag Venkateshwara. And we'll now be getting into the second round of Mahima. So as we did before, all of you can get your cameras ready, the timestamp camera. And in this round of Mahima, you can pick any object that you want to use for the manifestation, which you can use for the manifestation by increasing its height. Measure the object by using a measuring tool, or if you don't have one, then you can place it on a paper and measure it on the paper with a pen. Then take a picture of the current height of the object, and then connect Swamiji through your third eye and declare for the height of the object to increase. And from the space of oneness, declare, I am Paramashiva, and Paramashiva is manifesting through Swamiji. And with that declaration, increase the height of your object. So now please chant the Mahavakya and start the manifestation. Yes, now let's take a minute to verify. So please remeasure the height of your object and click a picture of the object after the manifestation. And you can compare the previous one with the current one, and any changes in the height of the object indicates a successful manifestation. And you can also take 2 minutes to quickly post your power manifestation videos and pictures on, and also your experience on your social media with the hashtags of hashtag Nithyananda, hashtag Bhavasamadhi, and hashtag Venkateshwara. And now we will be getting into the third round of the power of Mahima. So as we did before, you can get your timestamp camera ready. So please take a few moments to set this up. And in this round of manifestation, you can pick a partner you want to manifest the power with by increasing their height. So if you have somebody at home, you can either get them to volunteer, or you can also maybe call up somebody. You can pick a partner and get them to measure their height, or if they're physically with you, you can measure their height. And once their height is, you can measure their height with a ruler on the head or a book on the head, and mark it with a pen or a pencil, whichever you're comfortable with, and take a picture of the current height. Then connect to Paramashiva through your third eye and declare the height of your object, of the person you are manifesting for, to increase. And from the space of oneness, declare, I am Paramashiva, and Paramashiva is manifesting through Swamiji. And with that declaration, increase the height of your partner. So now all of you can chant the Mahavakya and connect with Swamiji in the space of oneness and manifest the power of Mahima for your partner. Yes, now let's take a minute to verify the manifestation. So please remeasure the height of your partner who you are manifesting for. And you can compare the previous height with the current height, and any changes in the height of your partner indicates your successful manifestation. And you can also take a few minutes to upload your power manifestation videos and pictures along with your experience and the amount of manifestation you have done on your social media platforms with the hashtags of hashtag Nithyananda, hashtag Bhavsamadhi, and hashtag Venkateshwara. And now with this, I thank all of you who are watching us for joining us for this Venkateshwara Bhavsamadhi Darshan. And we will now be concluding with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Padukar Pranamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you everyone and for joining us today, and please stay tuned for the further programs and further sessions which will be live. And once again, I thank all of you for joining us. Thank you, Nithyananda.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become e-Kailashians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
E-Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. E-Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity, withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you and make you interested in enlightenment time. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are, because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. Just don't die within next 3 years. Be alive. Somehow be alive. I'm working sincerely. I will reach you somehow. Somehow I will reach you. It's my commitment to humanity. Just don't die within next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. You manifesting the space, state, powers, being, Paramashiva. It is possible, and it is possible for you. Paramashiva will reach you with enlightenment signs. I know he is going to do the job. Just be alive for next 3 years. Nothing else.
God is a bridge for you to achieve the Shivatva, the ultimate Shiva consciousness. Krishna is the bridge for you to achieve the Krishna consciousness. But Shiva consciousness, Krishna consciousness, all consciousness is one and the same. Ultimate consciousness only. So that energy itself completely expresses.
Just like Radhika, when I see my own sweetness in the mirror, I become eager to taste it. I find that the only way to relish this sweetness is through the constitution of Sri Radhika.
Bhava Samadhi Darshan is a window to the infinite expanse of consciousness, allowing us to glimpse the formless in a way that we can understand. It cleanses the karmas of lifetimes. It awakens our vibrancy to the space of Paramashiva, the ultimate consciousness, and creates a deep and lasting transformation in us.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. Just don't die within next 3 years. Be alive, somehow be alive. I'm working sincerely. I will reach you somehow. Somehow I will reach you. It's my commitment to humanity. Just don't die within next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. You manifesting the space, state, powers, being, Paramaship. It is possible, and it is possible for you. Paramashiva will reach you with enlightenment science. I know he is going to do the job. Just be alive for next 3 years. Nothing else.
भावातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्याद्विलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वदी साक्षीभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि.
Nithyananda, dear viewers, we welcome each and every one of you back for yet another very, very exciting and extremely informative segment. And all of us just enjoyed the Bhava Samadhi Darshan of Bhagavan Venkateshwara and the powerful session of Bhava manifestation.
And we have a great news to share with all of you, and especially all the 2 billion Hindus across the globe. This is a very, very, very exciting news for all of you.
Actually, the world with 7 billion plus people existing is diverse. There are so many cultures, people with so many backgrounds, so each of them with different beliefs, different experiences, and many of them following their respective religions. Yet, from time immemorial, one lifestyle, a science that has stood the test of time is Sanatana Hindu Dharma, which has constantly been enriching lives, contributing in various fields such as science, medicine, arts, philosophy, and whatnot. And being one such important religion and a lifestyle and a science that flourished, it has also faced immense persecution and attacks.
This is the only religion. Actually, this is a greater science of life as free. Is the most ancient and the most persecuted religion in the whole world. Yet, this Holocaust has been not told to the world. Still, even Hindus themselves are unaware of what is the Holocaust, what is the persecution that Sanatana Hindu Dharma has gone through for centuries and is still going through.
After years of persecution, if Sanatana Hindu Dharma, a great science of life, is able to still thrive and flourish, it is because time and again, masters, avatars, incarnations have happened, have descended to uphold the Dharma, to revive the science time and again, to give it for the greatest benefit of humanity. And after years and years of persecution, now as the 1008th living incarnation of Paramashiva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself has descended to planet Earth to revive, to reach this greater science of life called Sanatana Hindu Dharma to each and every human being, for them to experience the best of their life, for them to experience joy, bliss, peace, and a very powerful way of living.
Sanatana Hindu Dharma as a lifestyle itself is absolutely contributing to each and every individual, absolutely based on life positivity, peace, and oneness. And today, we are having a very exciting news that we are waiting to share with all of you on how this Holocaust faced by Sanatana Hindu Dharma. Actually, if all of you have been following, seeing the daily issues, you would have seen a lot of Holocaust, like the material shared on what kind of Holocaust that Sanatana Hindu Dharma has gone through and is continuing to go through, and how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is literally like a hologram. All that persecution put together, the persecution he is going through.
And most importantly, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is standing as the voice of the 2 billion Hindus, spearheading the whole revival of Sanatana Hinduism and taking all the persecution and attacks that happened to Hinduism to the platform to tell to the world and to get us our legitimacy back in every level. And as one of the important steps in that, at the recent International Religious Freedom Summit that has happened, the Kailashians represented the whole of Hinduism as a voice of the 2 billion Hindus, sharing with the world the persecution that has happened to Sanatana Dharma.
What once thrived in 56 nations is today in states. Except that now, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Maha Sannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashiva, has spearheaded and established the world's greatest Hindu nation, Kailasa. And as Kailasa is now taking the spiritual responsibility for the peace of the whole world, and also the responsibility to provide all the legitimacy back to Sanatana Dharma and to revive Sanatana Dharma back to all its glory and to create a seed bank of Hinduism. Kailasa has taken also the responsibility to speak out the Holocaust that Hinduism has been facing and is facing even to this day. So today we have with us Manitya Jayapriyananda and Manitya Vijayapriyananda and Sri Gauri Bharatananda Ayya, all three of Kailasians who are going to be sharing with us this very exciting news, how Kailasa has spoken, taken this Hindu Holocaust, the untold yet the most barbaric Hindu Holocaust, to an international platform and raising the awareness of the globe to this Holocaust. Nithyananda.
Nithyananda, thank you for bringing us to this platform. We are so excited to share about our experience, and we feel so blessed that Swamiji, the Supreme, has chosen us to represent at this international platform, the International Religious Freedom Summit that will be held in Washington, D.C. We feel so blessed that he has chosen us persecution of Hindu Holocaust.
Sorry, Ma Jayapriya and if I may just request, I think there's a small audio glitch from your side. So if I may just request that be fixed. And yes. And dear viewers, as each of you are watching us, we have our Kailasians, team of Kailasians, Sri Nithya Gauri Bharatananda Ayya, Manitya Vijayapriyananda, Manitya Jayapriyananda, all three of them, they are going to be sharing. So stay tuned to hear from us, and we are having a very, very exciting, extremely informative and a powerful sharing that awaits each and every one of you. And joining with us live are the Kailasians who are going to share that. And we'll be right back after a short break to join with you all and to share further.
There are some great spiritual sciences unique to Hinduism. Subtle, otherworldly, but definitive sign. Manifesting the cosmic beings in Archavatara, deities in Nijavatara, living incarnations is possible. Understand? Kriya Pada of Vedas and Agamas elaborately explain the whole science of making the cosmic beings manifest in Archavatara, deities and Nijavatara, living incarnations, both. During the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, literally those cosmic beings manifest through this body. Just like how they manifest in Archavatara, deity, they manifest in Nijavatara, Pratyakshavatara, and give you all the boons you ask, bless you. You see, each God is an independent intelligence to lead you to enlightenment. Each God is a bridge for you to achieve the Shivatva, the ultimate Shiva consciousness.
Krishna is the bridge for you to achieve the Krishna consciousness. But the Shiva consciousness, Krishna consciousness, all consciousness is one and the same. Ultimate consciousness only. So that energy itself completely expresses.
Just like Radhika, when I see my own sweetness in the mirror, I become eager to taste it. I find that the only way to relish the sweetness is through the constitution of Sri Radhika.
Bhava Samadhi Darshan is a window to the infinite expanse of consciousness, allowing us to glimpse the formless in a way that we can understand. It cleanses the karmas of lifetimes. It awakens our biomemory to the space of Paramashiva, the ultimate consciousness, and creates a deep and lasting transformation in us.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. Just don't die within next 3 years. Be alive. Somehow be alive. I'm working sincerely. I will reach you somehow. Somehow I will reach you. It's my commitment to humanity. Just don't die within next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. You manifesting the space, state, powers, being, Paramashiva. It is possible, and it is possible for you. Paramashiva will reach you with enlightenment science. I know he is going to do the job. Just be alive for next 3 years. Nothing else.
So people have come to a conclusion that, religious space or religious freedom is not just your right, but it also is an essential requirement for you to show that you are a liberal, a government, or you're a sensible government for that matter. So that is why in late 90s itself, US began to take steps to track religious freedom globally. And over a period, it has institutionalized the area of tracking religious freedom. It doesn't it doesn't track religious, this organization doesn't track religious freedom in India, but outside. You can see that through their USCIRF reports, which is United States Commission for International Religious Freedom, and then they have a religious freedom office as part of their foreign affairs office, which is your State Department. And then there is a whole industry that has been built which promotes religious freedom. When I use the word industry, it's an ecosystem. What I mean is that there is a Vatavarana that has been created. So you have scholars, you have bureaucrats, you have diplomats, you have activists, you have lawyers whose only specialization is religious freedom. They have nothing else. In a sense, US had made it possible, not just possible, you are richly rewarded, even financially, for pursuing religious freedom globally. This is one thing that is phenomenal about the US. So any problem that they have figured out how to convert it into a business problem. So if you have a problem of religious freedom, they've made it a business problem. That means if anyone wants to fight for religious freedom, he or she can make their living, not just and a very comfortable living at that. So that is why there is a greater incentive in US to fight for religious freedom globally. And because it's a business problem, they want to expand. So they want to expand the fight for religious freedom globally. And that is why we see, it's phenomenal. The whole area was booked. And the interesting thing was only 2 paid people managed the whole show. The rest of the thing was organized by volunteers. And because it has become an industry, people are specializing it right from the college level. They are grooming young people to think on religious freedoms and go fight on it in the future. So it's not a freak show. It is not a temporary thing. It's a sustainable ecosystem that they have built, which is growing every year. And they have penetrated into all areas. So right now, earlier religious freedom used to be looked at with an isolated point of view. Today, every aspect is being tested with the angle of religious freedom. So for example, if you're running a business, they are testing, is your business giving religious freedom? They are testing is your business supporting you to express your religion? See, earlier the business culture was, religion is a personal space, so keep it to your home, don't bring it to the work. Now the thinking has changed, where they're saying, no, we should allow people to express their religion so that they're more efficient at work. So we see, large social media companies like Facebook and all of them also being represented here. Now they're also allowing their own employees to be comfortable in the workplace where they can express their religion. And they have created an alliance for that also. So that, unfortunately in India, the religious freedom is going back, whereas the rest of the world, they're pushing the boundaries of what is acceptable and what is not. When you look at the whole conference, people pretty much agree to all the principles that Sanatana Hindu Dharma talks about. So in a sense, if you look at it, the whole world is ready to become Hindus. They're already practicing Hindus. They just don't know yet. That is the impression I got out of that summit. That is why it kind of makes sense why the whole world is ready for Paramashiva.
Actually, I want to add to this. So there was one person, and he was a Muslim, and he shared about the free will, like how the Lord gives the free will to people, even though they can make everybody, like a practicing, have a faith, but the Lord chooses for the person to have a free will. And this is exactly what Swamiji says, Paramashiva, he has the power he has the power of attorney, but he decides to give us the free will. So like you said, is right. They don't know, but they are practicing Hindus. It's the same principle that they are following.
Yeah, it is very enlightening to see. I mean, the level of collaboration and cooperation different religious entities on the ground are having to promote freedom of religion is phenomenal. It's a global movement. There is no stopping it. I mean, and that is what we are confident about this as well. See, earlier religious freedom was in the domain of non-religious people only. Today, religious people have taken over the pushing the boundaries of what is religious freedom. So they know that they are an unstoppable force. It's like that's what gives us a lot of hope. That the Kailasa's roadway to Kailasa is through the government and people of US.
Yes, and religious freedom itself is so important to US, and people like former Senator Mr. Brownback is advocating for religious freedom.
Yeah, he's not just an ambassador. He built his entire career on religious freedom. I mean, he was an ambassador in the Foreign Office during Trump time. Now he's the new one is yet to be appointed, but for them it's such a serious issue that they have decided to appoint in the next, I think, couple of weeks. And a lot of interesting people, and we had, I think, one very interesting encounter with an Indian Christian, and once we started to talk about Swamiji and what he's trying to do, and for him it was a no-brainer. He knew that Swamiji will be attacked. He says, I'll be surprised if he's not attacked. I mean, he's posing a serious threat to certain institutions. And from his point of view, he's saying that, I think that's what Swamiji says, right? Other people, outsiders, understand better than Hindus themselves. I mean, this is a classic example. Like, everybody understood immediately why Swamiji is being persecuted. We didn't have to explain them much. And they were very, very concerned with the level of persecution that was happening. And the amount of support that we got globally from pretty much every component was phenomenal.
Yes, that was actually our first international platform where we could speak. They actually invited us to speak, to give a speech for the first time about the persecution of the Supreme Pontiff, Kailasa, and Hindus. People don't know that, Hindus are being persecuted. You hear about other being persecuted, but I feel Kailasa Nation, it was a first, for people to hear that Hindus also are being persecuted. The Supreme Pontiff also is being persecuted. And this is a platform, a place where our voices will be heard, like the persecution of SPH, of Hindus and the minorities. This is like the perfect place. And like you said before, people were so shocked when they heard that, the Supreme Pontiff, his passport was illegally taken. He was exiled. So people were so shocked about this. And we were able to speak to government officials and tell them about this persecution. And they were also concerned, and they were willing to listen more to us. Even the Ambassador Brownback, we met with him. He listened to us, and the second day again, when we went to meet him, he remembered us and our story. So I feel, a lot of support was being given. They were hearing, us of what's going on, and I feel this is like a breakthrough we are getting in this, our voice being heard in this sense.
Yeah, and plus there are a lot of individual stories as well. Like we met one, a Korean Christian who's he's from a village where he says, I'm from the lineage of Mata Sita. Then he went on to explain that his village is where, there is a stone which the Queen Ayodhya, a queen named Ayodhya, came from Uttar Pradesh and became the queen of South Korea, and the bloodline of South Korea comes from that queen. And he explained to us how there were two parts of the rock. One rock was in Uttar Pradesh, one rock was in his village. And when they did the carbon dating the dating process on that, it was found to have the same age, and which revalidated that it came from Uttar Pradesh, or it could have come from South Korea. But looking at the stone characteristics, it came from Uttar Pradesh. So a lot of interesting, and he ended up, because he couldn't make it to my remarks, he felt very bad, and he got one blessing shawl, is that Buddhist wear, like a white one, and he bowed down and gave it to me, and then he gave a Tibetan incense, which is part of their blessing, like a prasad kind of thing. Yeah, it was very moving. We had a lot of individual offers of support as well. Some support from at the organization level, but we had a lot of individual support, like a spontaneous support at the individual level.
Yeah, and also the person from South Korea, he said he's the descendant of Mata Sita, and as a child he was studying Ramayana at school. So and he was so happy when he came to our table and looking at Swamiji's books, Avatar Shastra, the Sarvanyapita book. He was really happy, and so many other people like that. There were Jews coming to our table and looking at Swamiji's books and being impressed. They were like, it's so colorful, it's so nice. And so many other people coming to us, asking, who we are, who we represent, and wanting to take pictures and knowing more about Swamiji and Kailasa Nation. Yeah, and the purpose of this summit is actually for each and every religion to support each other. It's not Hindus supporting Hindus. It's a Christian supporting Hindus, Muslim supporting Christians, or Sikh. It's like that. Like everybody supports everyone, and help in any persecution that's happening.
Yeah, interestingly, we ran into one Hindu, couple of Hindu organizations who claim to fight for Hindu human rights. When in our discussions, their worldview was Hindus are not persecuted in India, and which is not surprising. A lot of people are not aware of this persecution in India. And then after my remarks, these same guys, the guys from the same organization, reached out to me, and they were actually concerned. Why would India persecute Hindus? That was their whole worldview. Like India is a Hindu country, and why would Hindus persecute Hindus? And then when I went on to explain to him that it's the gap. It's not the Hindus persecuting Hindus. It's actually a politically motivated militants who are persecuting Hindu gurus, and it is so systematic and so violent. And because there is no one speaking about it globally, and people are turning a blind eye towards it, it is never being. Nobody ever notices. That person was visibly, shaken, or he went pale when we explained. When I ended up explaining those details. It's kind of an interesting. I hope for him.
So Aya, why would you say this forum was important to us?
One, it's like think of it like a trade show, right? So you pretty much know all the playbooks every persecuting government is using all over the world. You also know the playbook for fighting this. And then also, what are the success stories, right? People just didn't come there to talk about their problems. They also came there to talk about strategies. They came there to talk about success stories and support each other. Like when you are attending a place like this, there is an immediate understanding and a cognitive shift that occurs, right? The whole world, now all these people, experts in religious freedom, now they actually understand that the Hindus are being, Guru Sishya Parampara has been persecuted in India. Now it's out there. It's no longer unknown. It's no longer hidden. It is out there in the public. It's only a matter of days before we end up officially publicly recognizing the persecution of SPH. So far, people understand. People know. It's just that you need some time for them to organize and make it public.
Also, I would add to it that we've met individuals from organizations who publish reports, And one of them, specializes in publishing reports about the persecution of Christians. But when we told her our story, the persecution of the SPH, she immediately said, okay, to send her the reports, and she said that she publishes reports every 2 years, and to send her whatever material we have. So even in this sense, we are getting the support of the international community, and that lady was from Germany, and he flew here for the conference.
Yeah, actually, it's that person just doesn't specializes in only looking into Europe. She doesn't even specialize into looking in India. She was so moved, she compelled to publish. She was moved actually. So now people see, now this is the second side, right? Now people will stretch themselves. People will stretch themselves into covering SPH as well. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so apart from that, there is actually a couple of other, we ended up meeting a few specialists who look at policy decisions. Like the way they work is they organize country-specific seminars where they end up discussing with their counterparts globally and try and map it to, and try and look at the situations, right? Now, because this option, this understanding of Hindu persecution is already out there, it makes it very easy for us to collaborate with potential partners independent partners who can actually look at the persecution of Hindus and then publish out independent reports. So now what will happen is, earlier, see, this is the game that is being played by these political forces, right, where their entire narrative is around nationalism. So moment they see somebody, it worked as long as persecution of Hinduism was hidden. The whole game collapses once the persecution of Hindus is made public. That is what is going to happen. Like once the persecution of Hindus is made public, the whole political militant neo-Hindutvas, their story will begin to collapse, unravel very quickly. Yeah, on and all, it was a great experience there. It's definitely, it gave us an insight into what the policymakers are thinking, what they look for. And apart from that, understanding of what activists are pushing for. It's clear that there is definitely a shift which has happened in the world. It's very apparent. And plus, this was conducted after 16 months in one area, right? Because of COVID lockdown, there was not much activity that was happening. So all the more, people were doubly motivated to, push this even further. So yeah, almost every community was represented, every sub-tradition, every tradition, and the level of organization that is there globally. So, and the amount of collaborations that each organization does with each other, right? It's not one organization fighting